commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Civil War, of the use of Fort McHenry as the American Bastille, the prison where they kept Confederate prisoners of war.
And on April 19th, there was a riot in downtown Baltimore. 4 soldiers were killed, about a dozen civilians were killed.
The Pratt Street riots are the first bloodshed of the entire Civil War. Miraculously, no one was shot at Fort Sumter. Well, after the Pratt Street riots, which took place on April 19th, 1861, Confederates in the city, they cut the lines both to the north, the telegraph lines, as well as burned all the bridges. Lincoln alerts Captain John Robinson here in Baltimore to train his guns down on the city and make sure that they stay in line with the Union.
I learned about this a lot in my social studies in my classroom. My teacher would be really interested to know that I'm here.
Maryland contributed a number of units to the Union cause, both U.S. colored troops and regular Army and volunteer troops. Yet quite a number of Baltimoreans did go south and serve.
As a border state, Maryland was questionable. Their loyalty was very questionable.
Ironically, at the Battle of Gettysburg, for example, you have 2 Maryland units facing off at Culp's Hill. So literally you've got neighbors fighting with neighbors.
A lot, especially of Baltimore, was pro-Confederate. They had a lot of secessionist sympathies.
The Southern sympathizers in Baltimore played a vital role in the events of 1861. And President Lincoln was under the opinion that Southern sympathizers who could potentially be hostile to his administration should be detained at Fort McHenry. So here in the 1860s, there were a number of civilians who were taken from their houses, brought here to Fort McHenry, held without charges.
I think it's really, really cool because this is the first fort I've been to that's actually been used.
This is the United States Christian Commission, which was a benevolent society that only existed during the Civil War. It was the first time different religious groups joined together for a common purpose. So we would provide the soldiers with socks, shirts, drawers, any of those items that they would have lost. Soldier come in, sit down, write a letter, we'll provide you with the paper, the pencils, whatever you need, and we'll stamp it and send it home for you. And a lot of these letters, they would have been written by a delegate in a hospital, and it would have been like the last words home to a loved one, a family. The Christian Commission basically reinvented itself, and in the process created almost everything that we do for the armed forces soldiers today. Today, a soldier in Iraq or Afghanistan can sit down in a computer terminal and talk to his wife or mother or whatever.
Now, on 150 years, 150th anniversary, where I think we realize more that Civil War was a complex conflict. And was it about secession? Was it about slavery? Was it about states' rights? We're still debating that. And I think it's important for Americans to see all facets of our history.
It's interesting because really the same problems that they went through, the same tensions, are still with us today. Particularly that tension between national security, the importance of national security, and civil liberties.
So yeah, I think maybe we are getting a little better about learning from history. I hope so.
Fort McHenry will be involved in the sesquicentennial celebration until it'll be 2015. So we'll be doing different things. And of course, the way that Fort McHenry played a role will change during those years as well.
Yes, until I'm no longer physically able, yes, I hope to be doing this sort of thing because I find it fascinating. And I hope that the people that visit Fort McHenry do also.